Hello and welcome to Sports by Compion. My name, of course, is Stephen Compion. Joined here by both my co-hosts. Are both here in the house. Both of them. It's amazing. Dan Gill is here, having a lovely beverage here. How are you, Dan, on this fine day?
Just enjoying my good old water.
Oh wow,
But
that's
hey,
just crazy.
I'm excited for this conversation. So
Oh yeah, we
it
all are.
turned out on the happy side.
We're all very happy, and of course, my other co-host, Corey Compion, in the house, in person, with his brick wall. Corey, how are the bricks doing over there?
Well, they're very good. I built them myself, layer by layer. You got to get them to overlap just right to make
Yeah,
structural integrity, much like Legos. If you've ever
yeah.
played with Legos, you got to have them overlap.
You know who would
Some of
know
them are
about that?
discolored.
Jerry Rice.
Jerry Rice knows about laying bricks
Yeah, he
and
does.
catching bricks because his dad
And
was a
catching bricks.
bricklayer.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, the reason we're here, yet another episode of Frankie Project. Frankie, friend of the show, joins the program. Frankie, how are you, buddy?
Did you say Frankie Project? Is that how this is called?
That's what we're calling this. Yes, we've been calling it the Frankie Project. Were you not paying attention in the last two shows? And also, are you not liking and subscribing to our content, Frankie? God damn it!
I am, but I didn't see that Frankie Project thing.
Well, yes, this is officially Frankie Project number 3 and the best of the episodes because we hit it, boys.
We did it! Woo! A Christmas miracle!
Holy shit, Frankie, we were all sweating bullets for you. There was many conversations on this pod about how stressed out we all were for you, sir. And just so happy that you managed to hit this bet. Turned out George Perkins woke up. Tell us about it, Frankie. What happened to the Steelers team suddenly? Looked like they were really going to drop the ball there.
At one point, we had to win just 2 out of 6. And I was like, yeah, this is easy.
Easy
when
money.
We were playing the Cardinals, and then Kenny got hurt. And that shit on everything. And we had to start Trubisky for 2 weeks in a row, which was awful.
Trubisky.
Yeah, and when we were playing the Bengals, I was like, maybe we'll hit it, maybe not. But I had really weak faith, I guess. And then out of the sudden, the team is playing like, I don't know, they have a gun to their head or something. And they're running like they haven't run the whole season. But that's what Tomlin does. He still is up and prepared sometimes, and they play like garbage against garbage teams, and then all of a sudden they just start playing amazingly.
Do you think it has something to do with all the media hatred that Perkins was getting, and that's why he decided to suddenly wake up and play some football?
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, it was just a crazy ride, man. I was.
What do you have to say about that blocking attempt by Perkins before all this? And that blocking attempt for him. What do you have to say about that blocking attempt for Perkins there against the
Colts? I was pissed. I was pissed, and everybody was pissed, and I think deservedly so. But then all of a sudden, against the Bengals and against the Seahawks, he makes these huge plays, and we're like, yeah, man, you don't have to block. It's cool. Just keep catching those balls.
You don't get to catch the ball when you run like that.
Everybody wanted to get rid of him. We were pissed or bench him, and then he does that, and now nobody's that upset anymore.
Yeah,
he's really balled out the last 2 weeks.
Like when they played the Cardinals and Patriots, I was just kind of like, oh. Like I was like, sure, locks, Frankie's getting it these 2 weeks. And then just didn't happen. I was like, oh no, here we go.
Those were the two that I thought were the games. And then I think it was like after the Patriots loss, I had the opportunity to I had put 50 on the Steelers also. I had the opportunity to opt out and I'd have like 40, and I was like, nah, man, I'm in it to win it. Gotta ride it out. Like, even though I thought it was going to shit at that point, I was pretty convinced that we were beat. I was like, I'm gonna ride it out, man. It's gonna be okay.
Nice. Well, good job.
Yeah.
Paid off.
And then I was just kind of like looking at the stretch down the line. I'm like, it's not gonna get any easier for them. Like, I know the Seahawks, tall order. They had Indy and the Bengals. I did not see that shelling on the Bengals coming. Like, that was a complete shock to me.
Yeah.
With how well that Browning had been playing for them, I was like, it was a close game the first time, even though the Steelers pulled it out. I was like, we might not get so lucky the second time around. And maybe that was the spark they needed, that game right there.
Yeah, absolutely. And after that game, I was like, maybe we can beat Seattle. It's looking pretty good. And Seattle had just barely scratched their way out of 2 games against,
Yep.
I don't know, two other teams. I forgot. So I felt good about the Seattle game after, and hopefully they pull it out.
Yeah, what do you have to say about your boy Mason Rudolph out there doing Rudolph type stuff?
Yeah, it's really strange. I didn't expect that at all. There's a reason why he's a first
I think a lot of Steelers fans were surprised.
It was insane. But I don't know, the story writes itself, I guess. Rudolph saved Christmas, just like that.
It's very much that backup magic though. Like all these backup quarterbacks, they come in, they have like 2 good weeks, and then they go back to remembering that they're backup quarterbacks, and they kind of their magic wears off. But they come out swinging for those 2 games. It's that Mike White magic.
Year.
I hope not. I hope they got one more in them because I did put money on them to win 10 games. Pretty ambitious of me, but it'd be great if they could win one more and get my bet too. That'd be terrific.
Hey, look, your best bet is if the Ravens sit a bunch of their starters since they clinched the number.
It could happen. It could happen.
They haven't said yet, but we'll see.
The fact I was doing so bad on my bet, it kind of got me cheering for the Ravens a little bit, just so they could rest their starters from the last week. And I was watching them play the Dolphins. I was like, no, man, fuck the bet. Just let the Ravens lose. I don't give a shit. And then I was like, oh, man, maybe they can win so they can help us. And that's how bad that bet got me. I got a little bit here towards the Ravens, which is really bad.
Frankie, let's get some details about this bet. I feel like it's been a little dodgy on the details here. Where exactly did we place this bet? What were the odds? Do you have the $5,000 in hand now?
Was it 6?
I don't have it yet. What?
Was this placed with a sports book or a shady Colombian?
Man, it's not a Colombian. No, okay.
It's a shady South American.
It is a sports book. It's called Bookmaker. I think it's one of the oldest sports books. And I bet around 8,000.
Oh, shit.
Oh, jeez.
We thought it was 5. Holy cow.
I thought it was 6. Yeah, I thought it was 6.
What odds did they give you, though? They had to have given you some pretty good odds.
I got almost 6 back. I got like minus 130, I think. Those were the
odds. It was minus?
Even higher. Yeah.
Huh. So you got
minus 130. It pays less than what I actually put in. Way less, actually.
So 14 back total.
Yeah, I have to check. Like I said, I haven't gotten it back, but yeah, I bet 8. I bet 8, and it pays a little bit less than 6. So like 13 something. Am I right?
I mean, still not a terrible payday. Like,
yeah, no, that's good.
It's a great payday, man.
You've probably aged like 3 years in this couple months. I
was really nervous, but against the Colts, man, I was dying. I hated that game.
That was a rough game.
Was that like your lowest point when it came?
That was my lowest. We started winning 13-0, and then we went 30 unanswered. It was insane. It just crushed, man. I lost hope right there for the.
Did you start going through the phases of grief?
What are those?
Stages of grief.
The stages of grief, where I think it's like denial, bargaining, acceptance, or acceptance is the last one.
It's the last one, yeah. Like, which step were you on?
Like, were you bargaining with yourself? Like, I guess it's okay. Like, I can make it back. I just gonna work more overtime.
I was like, I knew this could happen.
Well, that's acceptance, actually, if you're already at that point, because I think there's rage somewhere in there.
Dude, it's crazy, though, that Tomlin almost messed this up. Like, the first non-winning season in forever it would have been, but nope, he rallies the boys at the last minute, gets it done. Typical Mike Tomlin stuff.
I mean, how many times did you tweet at Mike Tomlin, Frankie? Like, take your shit together. I can't lose this money.
Oh, okay. No.
Did you tweet him? Do you even have Twitter?
Sorry, he probably hand wrote him letters,
Right.
That checks out. Yeah, everyone knows the Costa Rican Postal Service is absolutely reliable.
Yeah, they might get there in the middle of January, but I hope he reads them. You know what's the thing, though? Man, this is Tomlin's 17th winning season in a row. Or not losing season, actually. But Steelers fans are so spoiled, man.
Yeah, they are.
Other teams will just kill to have this coach. And
Yeah.
they say he's mediocre and he's unprepared at times. The team's unprepared, but dude, I
Well,
wouldn't change him for mostly.
It was
anybody.
hilarious when
Well,
some Steelers fans were calling for his head. All the rest of the NFL was like, yes,
The media,
please
in the
fire
US
that
is-
man.
We'll take him.
Absolutely. Fire him for sure. Yeah, get him out of there.
Like,
That was
I
you
don't-
so
guys are
good to
still in
see.
the playoff hunt, which is crazy. That like
they're still in the playoffs.
through all the shenanigans, you could still make the playoffs.
Mhm.
That would be fun.
No,
I
because
saw, I saw a video.
I saw a thing, and I'm trying to pull it up, and I can't find it. I thought I sent it to my buddy that's a Steelers fan. It was like kind of when they were calling for Tomlin's head. They did a side by side of him and Bill Cowher, and like if you took their careers up to that point, they were like almost identical in the amount of wins to losses. I think there was like a 10-win spread or something like that. But like both had won like one Super Bowl, they lost another. So it was like almost identical, and it was like, you know, Bill Cowher walks like God in Pittsburgh. And then you literally, his replacement has the same career. And you're like, nah, like this guy's got to go. It's like, it's the most ironic crap. But it's like, you love one guy for it and you're calling for his head in the other. But you're not
I don't
wrong.
like.
It's like what they're going through in Green Bay. Like,
Yes.
you know,
I was just going to bring up Green
Yeah.
Bay. You get your third good quarterback and like.
we're
fucking
hold on, no,
20
hold
years.
on,
It's
hold on,
ridiculous,
hold on,
dude.
hold
I was
on.
just
We're
giving
too
Taylor
low.
shit about this. It's out
Hold
of
on. No. We're way too early to release it. Sure, Jordan Love has looked good, but yeah, it was like we've had two great quarterbacks over 20 some years.
Yeah.
You know, so what if we have a down year like for the first time in 20 years? Like,
Yeah, you guys are so spoiled,
things
and
will
like
be
you couldn't
okay.
even do that. You had to go ahead and have a good season, and now you might make the playoffs. It's ridiculous. Like, come on, Packers.
The Cowboys also pretty spoiled. Pretty much good quarterbacks for quite a
Yeah,
while.
You're not wrong. No Super Bowls, but yes.
No
Kind of like
Super
the
Bowls,
good
but
sports.
good
Kind of like the
quarterbacks.
good sports guy said. He's like, I wish I could figure out the deal that the Packers have with Satan, where like they get Hall of Fame quarterbacks in there, but they only get to win one Super Bowl with each of them. It's still a good deal. It's still a good
winning
deal
one.
that a lot of franchises would happily take that deal.
So,
yeah.
so Frankie, the question is, would you do this again next year?
Yeah, should we all ride this
Over
roller
18?
coaster again next year, Frankie?
Like maybe
You know
bet
what's funny?
less this time? Like,
That will be the smart part. What's funny is that I think the line might be similar again.
Oh
Because I don't
no.
think it's really maybe doing a lot this year. So it may be again at 8.5 just for them to have a winning season. I will bet on it, maybe not as much. Yeah,
maybe
I
only
think
use your winnings.
What?
Maybe only use your winnings on the bet next year.
Yeah, maybe.
Do
Actually,
five.
well, I was betting throughout the year in games. I was doing live betting, which is great. I haven't done it before. And I actually stopped after the Colts game because I was like, no man, if I lose this bet, this is all going to to my losses. So I stopped betting because of this fucking team and the fact that they couldn't get it done before.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. I would be also a little nervous to continue to bet with 5,000 on the line.
You don't need
Or
to
it's
bet
6,000. 8,000. I'm so confused at this
I
point.
couldn't believe
Either
it
way.
was 8. Yeah.
I can't believe it's 8, dude. That's crazy.
8 in to get 13 out.
Woo! Wow.
Is
What
this
a ride, Frankie.
Is this like the largest bet you've ever placed?
Yeah, for sure. I've played a lot in poker, but never in one bet all at once. No, never.
I can't think of a time I put $100 on something.
Same. I haven't put. I'd probably put my biggest bet of the year was just a handshake bet with Paul Gents, friend of the show, about this last Saints Buccaneers game. So now I owe him $10. But that's probably the biggest bet I've placed, like straight up. Like it's crazy, dude.
I put 50 on the Steelers, which I gotta say, so hearing about this bet whenever I was still in Costa Rica, I got so hype about it. I bought in and I was like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna do sports betting this year. So I put it, that's whenever I got the recommendation from Steve on the FanDuel. And I did a Cowboys bet for them to get, I don't know, X amount of wins, for them to make the playoffs, and for the Steelers. All told, it was like 100 in, but it was a total of like $200 worth of betting money because of the referral bonus. I came out of it, all those bets hit, so I cashed out $200 yesterday, And so I doubled the money I put in, and I still have 30 left in there to mess with for the rest of the season. So it worked out for me as well.
Nice.
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 I actually
It's all
got a
around
friend
winning.
into it.
You
A
got what?
girlfriend of mine. I got a girlfriend of mine into it. I was just telling her about the bet, and she was like, "All right, I'm taking it. I'm putting it in." And she put like $250 in it, and luckily it hit. But I was
Yeah,
like, "Yo, this is
You
a good bet."
made a lot of
I'm just
people some
telling
money
you,
with
like,
this, Frankie.
yeah,
Convinced everybody, man. We all
Maybe
bought it.
it's not me,
man.
but that was my own fault for going 10 wins. That was a little ambitious, but it was better odds at 10. But either way.
Mhm.
Jeez, you're just getting. I mean, maybe you need to start your own, betting show.
Hammer down with Frankie.
Frankie's been.
Frankie, what are we betting on this week?
Well, we bet this week, Frankie. We just pull Frankie's like, I got another Steelers bet for you. Oh, shocker.
I like the odds of Pickens getting 2 blocks.
Nobody likes those odds, Frankie. But what I do love about that was watching Jalen Warren, was it? The running back who he did block for, right? And like they were asking him, like, would you block for him? And he was like, absolutely. And then you see him the next play just absolutely clean someone's clock on one of George's runs. I love to see it, dude. I like that guy already, that Jalen dude. Well, he's pretty good. What do you think? Is he better? Is he better than Harris?
Harris had a tough year, man. Before, like
he had a better game. He's had a good couple weeks though. Yeah,
he's running now like he used to run. Like I don't know, his first season, I guess. So maybe he's picking it up now, but he looked rough at times. Now everybody loves him, but that's how it goes, I guess, with players.
He looked so bad at the beginning of the year. He just looked so slow. I hope he had a bad offseason.
It feels like just a bad season for running backs. Like the best running back is Christian McCaffrey, and he's basically playing like a receiver. They're throwing him screen passes. Like every running back who's like a true blue running back is kind of having a down year.
Yeah, let me try to think who's doing well.
Henry's not doing anything great. Jacobs definitely fell off a cliff.
Jacobs fell off a cliff like week 13 or 14, just suddenly fell off. Like he was having a good season. And I don't even think he's over there right now. Is he injured right now?
Eckler.
Jacobs.
I think he's there. I think he's just real quiet. Tony Pollard's having a terrible year.
White was taking all the carries against the Chiefs the other day, so that's what I was asking. But anyway, like what's it called? Austin Eckler, I drafted him first overall in my fantasy league. Let me tell you, terrible year out of the guy for sure.
I mean,
the Chargers had all kinds of problems, but he looked terrible.
When he had 7 carries for 4 yards,
oh my god, dude.
Wow. And that loss or whatever it was.
Yeah,
4 yards for 7.
He's a total mess.
But
absolutely horrible fantasy option. It was just a bad year for running backs. Now that you mention it, Corey, seriously, can you guys list a running back that did well? I mean, I guess John, what's his name? The guy over there with the Jets.
I was going to say Saquon didn't have a terrible
Saquon did okay. Yeah, Saquon had a pretty good year. Although he's fallen off the last couple of weeks, though, because Tyrod Taylor's had no help.
I think his biggest thing is he's been able to stay healthy all year, which he hasn't done in a long time.
That is huge for Saquon, for sure. But yeah, rough year for running backs altogether.
So, Frankie, you think the Steelers are going to get in? Or is there too much that has to happen for that to happen?
I want to say yes. I don't know. Bet on it. Everybody bet on it now. I think if they rest their shoulders. Yeah.
I think they might. So is it just they win and they're in?
No, they gotta.
No, because the Bills have to lose.
Oh, okay.
And then And then does Jacksonville? Because there's a thing about the AFC South.
One of the South teams might make it in. Yeah, that's true.
So either the Bills have to lose, or the Jaguars have to lose, or if the Steelers lose to the Ravens, there's this weird scenario in which the Jags have to lose too, and then the Broncos have to win, and the Texans and the Colts, I think, needs to end in a tie. And then we are in.
All right, so I found it on NFL's page. So for the Steelers to clinch, one of 5 things have to happen. So Pittsburgh wins, Bills loss. So that's the easiest one in. Or the other one is Pittsburgh win and Jacksonville loss. A Pittsburgh win and Houston Indy tie. And then it just gets into the weird ones of like if Pittsburgh ties. But The other weird one, I guess, is if Jacksonville loses, Denver wins, and Houston Indy doesn't end in a tie, then they can also get in. So, I
And we
mean,
lose.
it doesn't. Yeah. I mean, I think the biggest thing is they win and they have a better shot at getting in.
Yeah.
Because I'm not holding my breath on the Bills to do anything in that game. I think the Dolphins, they're going to come out ready to play because if the Dolphins win, they're the second seed. If not, they're going to drop really far and they don't want to go on the road.
We got some games to pick on here in a little while, and yeah, I am curious about how you're going to pick those down because there's some tough picks.
Yeah, and I'm curious. Like, do you ride Mason Rudolph? Like, would you want them to ride Mason Rudolph if they get in the playoffs, or when Kenny's like really healthy, are you going to see him? Because I thought there was a possibility that he was supposed to be back last week against the Seahawks, and they didn't play him.
Yeah, I think he was ready to go, and they didn't want to play him. Well, ready enough, I guess. I think when Rudolph did that thing to the Bengals, I wanted Rudolph to start against Seattle. He's the hot hand. It's easier, man. The other guy has been hurt. He hasn't been practicing as much and everything. So I say they just ride with Rudolph this time, and luckily we can get them to fight for a starting spot next season. But I think, but Rudolph is a free agent, so he's probably leaving. But I'll stick with Rudolph.
He's been there forever, so it makes sense for him to finally move on. So I guess that is the question I had. Do you believe in Frankie? Do you believe in Kenny as a long-term answer?
The thing is that he got hurt right after we fired Cat. And that's annoying.
Yeah, so it's hard to
we
tell.
couldn't get a glimpse at it. And right after we had a 400-yard game, right after we fired him, which was insane.
Yeah.
And then against the Cardinals, he got hurt. What I don't like about him is that he's getting hurt a lot. But the smallest things, so he may be injury prone, and that doesn't work. So, I don't know.
That is a problem. You guys stay on the field to be successful. Plus, he hasn't exactly found his success button just yet. Yeah. But it is only year 2. You probably got to give him another year. I don't think you move on from him or anything. What do you think, Dan?
No, I mean, I think, like you said, the big piece is he got hurt kind of right after Canada left. So, you kind of got to give him time with whoever they're going to bring in. If I was the Steelers, I'd be more inclined to get rid of Trubisky and keep Rudolph.
100%.
Because clearly he's the better option. So I don't get how you let Rudolph walk out the door.
I think Trubisky is starting to be in that danger of not being able to stay in the league because as a backup quarterback, you got to be able to come in and at least win a game or look somewhat serviceable. And if you come in as a backup and look terrible like he has, it's going to start looking bad.
He's also been around for a while, hasn't he? He came in like 2018, so he's like 5 years in.
Yeah.
5, 6, yeah.
6,
which doesn't seem like that long, but it's also enough time to see that you're probably not that good, bud. Sorry.
And he's that second highest paid backup quarterback in the league. Just to go out there and doing that shit.
Damn.
So who's the highest paid backup?
Who's what?
Who's the highest paid backup? Is it Stidham?
I don't know, but I remember that. I just looked at what the Steelers were doing.
Well, I mean, wouldn't it technically probably be Russell Wilson at this point since he got benched?
Yes, 100%. So now he is number 3, actually. Mitchell Trubisky's now number 3. Oh, yeah, Russell Wilson. That's a whole fun story. We'll hop into that one maybe later.
So I brought it up the other day to Steven, but I saw an article about Mason Rudolph and Ben Roethlisberger that apparently Mason Rudolph told Ben Roethlisberger he didn't need his help. And because Ben Roethlisberger was trying to teach him when he was still on the team. And he just shut him down and was like, no, I'm good. See ya. Which blows my mind that you have a Hall of Fame quarterback willing to teach you. Because you hear all these stories of
especially Ben. I thought I've heard about him not wanting to mentor people.
Yeah, we were talking about Tannehill the other week. You just hear these situations quarterbacks are not my job, see ya. And he flat out tells Big Ben, no, I'm good.
That's wild.
The fact that again, he's hot hand for you guys, he's winning, but if that didn't get him booted out the door, I'm shocked.
For real.
Because that just has to look so bad on paper.
Especially if you're not good. He wasn't good. So it's what do you mean, dude?
And maybe he got superpowers when he got hit in the head with the helmet. Like, I don't know.
Oh yeah, that does check out. Everyone knows that helmet hits give you powers, or CTE. One of the two.
A little bit
CT
of
is a
both.
form of superpower.
This is true. This is true.
I mean, you know.
Well, boys, any questions here for Frankie?
Frankie, what's your takeaway? Did you have anything you want to say on the matter?
I don't know. Like I was telling you, I think the last time. I don't know if I would make a bet like that again. I was really sure about it, but it's like since I play poker too, it's like putting all your money in one big tournament,
Yeah.
and just for luck you may lose. And I almost lost this one because, in my opinion, because of injuries.
Yeah.
But it's part of football. But yeah, we, it's a lot of money to have that big of a chance, I guess, to losing it. So I don't think I will do it again, but I'm glad it hit. So we're partying.
Yep. Where are you going to celebrate?
I was gonna go to a really expensive restaurant and order whatever the most expensive thing was. That's what
Hell yeah.
Sounds like a solid idea. Move.
Yeah, I was gonna say, where's the party?
You could get up to some fun in Costa Rica with 14 grand. Let me tell you, you could have some fun and not even go through like a couple. You probably only go through a couple hundred and have a great time. But what about 5 or 7? Everything's really fucking expensive nowadays. But still, good times ahead for Frankie. Very excited for you. Yeah, boys, anything else?
No, just can't wait to hear about next year's bet.
Can't wait to hear about next year's bet. Frankie, thank you for coming on.
Frankie, Project 4.
Playoffs are coming. What do you mean next year? Playoffs are coming.
Playoff project.
We'll talk playoff bets in a couple days.
Let's go. We'll have Frankie back on for that. Frankie, thank you for letting us experience this with you. Be on this roller coaster. I think the Sports by Confi and fans also had fun. Throw a comment down there in the chat, guys, if you've been following this whole project all the way through and are happy for Frankie and his 14 grand. Give him some ideas of what he should be spending that money on. And yeah, thank you for tuning in. Continue to like and support our content because we love producing it. And we will be pumping out more videos. We're just always going to be pumping out videos, aren't we, Dan?
Always
pumping out videos. Anyway, people, thank you for tuning in. Have a great time and Sports by Confi.